Hey guys, I'm here with Adele Johnston for another case study. She's been an amazing client of mine for the last 6 months. She is a menopause coach. She also accredits, amazing women with becoming accredited with menopause to help a lot of women in the space to kind of, get themselves back to balance again. And she's got such an inspiring story, which she can go over a little bit here with me. I know there's probably a lot of women out there because 80% of my client base is women, that if you have any of these challenges, definitely give her a follow. She'll be up here. But she started working with me 6 months ago, and she came to me pretty much doing, making a good amount, 10K months, somewhere around that consistently. But there was one thing that was missing, and it was the relationship with money. So what was coming in was straight away going out. And that's something that we completely focused on throughout this 6 months. And she's in the best financial situation she's been in, right?
Yeah.
Since we started. And I wanted to kind of ask, just to start off, Adele, why did you join coaching with me?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah.
So I'd been obviously watching you for probably about 18 months
Yeah.
before we started together.
Yes.
And I'd been on this amazing retreat, this business retreat in LA,
Yes.
and just got to see a little bit more behind the scenes of how you were with one of your clients that I'm really good friends with.
Yes.
And it blew my mind just how much you were in the detail of the money side. And it triggered me because I was
So
always
what
good
happened?
at.
Tell me the story. Tell the people the story. What happened? What was the triggering story?
Okay, so in LA, booked this amazing suite within the Pendry Hotel in LA. It was beautiful.
Yes.
And I was sharing it with one of your clients. I don't know, will I say your name?
Yeah, well, you
We're
could say.
sharing the room. Yeah. Sharing the room with one of your clients, because we're really good friends.
Yes.
And I had witnessed you messaging her saying, I want to know this, 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 and this, and where things are for you. And she's like, I need to get this information to Zac. You just go down
Yes.
to the bar and I'll follow. I was like, no, I'm intrigued. I want to see what you're doing. So from that perspective, I was like, nobody's ever done that with me before. Nobody's ever asked for that detail
Yeah.
and held that level of accountability. It always felt like and this is no disrespect to previous coaching, but
Yeah.
the previous coaching was always about just getting the money in.
Yeah.
It wasn't then about what do we then do with that money. So
Yes.
for me, it's always been a big goal to have pure financial freedom,
Yes.
which means more than just money into the business. It means
Yes.
what we do with that as a wealth portfolio. And that's what kind of opened up the kind of aha moment for me of, I need this man in my life to help me.
Yes. And that was kind of like the decision. And what's kind of happened since, like, you don't have to go into full detail, but I'm like, with where you are right now, just currently, because obviously we're halfway through this, but I'm like, whereabouts do you feel like what's been the biggest growth for you in this journey specifically?
Yeah, a great question. I would say that the biggest piece for me has been the inner work, so the connection to exactly where I want to go,
Yes.
and the complete doubling down on self-belief, all of the kind of manifesting work. Being a certified breathwork facilitator, I would do a lot of
Yes.
breathwork anyway, but really using that and learning more about what I need. So it's
Yes.
been like a really big 6 months of self-exploring to then appreciate that I've healed a massive gap or gray area that I had with my relationship with money.
Yeah. Do you know
Mhm.
there's a lot of people out there that I know you're a person that's done so much mindset work in your life, and you've done heaps of
Yeah.
mindset stuff. Even before you started with me, you were doing breath work stuff, you were doing working on your
Mhm.
programming and stuff like that. What do you think the difference is from your perspective on, let's just say, the stuff that you've done before around mindset and upgrading yourself and money stuff? Like, are they connected, or do you feel like they are two different masteries that you kind of have to work on? What's your kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Because
I would
sometimes people think, Adele, I guess it's like, oh, mindset is money mindset. That's what it is. It's like they think it's the same thing.
yeah. No, I would say that for me, I was actually very settled with who I was as a person.
Yes.
So very connected with me in the physical body sense,
Hmm.
but also in the kind of self-spirituality and wanting to explore where I went with all of that. I was very kind of stabilized in that. And it's something I get a lot of feedback on, is that, I do feel very grounded in that sense.
Yes.
But I would then have the kind of elephant in the room with the money piece. And it would be very much, fingers in the ears, don't want to hear. the money's in, let's just
Yes.
ignore it now. Whereas you forced me to face that, and the work that we've done together, it's been a beautiful kind of symphony
Yes.
of just do the work with money, you know, understand it, make peace with it. And now it's to the point where I get as excited over £1,000 as I do £10,000.
Yes.
It's like that's energy to me now. And that energy is that really strong connection and flow
Yes.
that I never seen and felt before.
And then the difference was, like you said before, like I remember I asked you before we did this, it's like you've had people before that focus so much on what are you making, Adele? Like, what are you making? But no one ever asked you, what do you actually keep? Like, what am I asking you all the time? What are you saving? Are you saving? Like, what have I done to your life? I remember, you know, because sometimes I do with people when they're working with me, I put a lockdown on their money because they need to create discipline. So tell us a little bit about the lockdown around money stuff that you've done.
Yeah, it's totally hilarious. And it's definitely something I never knew that I needed, that kind of direction.
Because you probably think at some level, you thought you was breaking your freedom at some level, right? Like, this is, I can't just buy what I want. It's not as freeing, right? But what's kind of happened? What was your process around that? Like, what kind of came up for you, but what is lockdown around your money mean?
It's been amazing. It sounds like, God, why would someone tell you can't spend? But the having that kind of invitation and direction to say you need to lock down on this, it actually caused a chain reaction. So that ripple effect that then happened inside our household with my husband is we actually took it one step further and started to look at, well, what is our own personal accounts? What are we spending on here? So we made some changes, not from a space of lack and need, but from a space in place of, well, actually, that is not needed to go out here. You know, things like within the UK, we've got Sky Television. We were paying hundreds of pounds a month for TV. I never watch it. The kids are on their VR devices and, you know, using other things that we were like, it's just bleeding out of the family pot. So we've put that away to do more family excursions, and it's actually got us a trip to
now
Florida.
where do you see, like, with it's where it's going? Because obviously where it's going right now with like where your mindset is, where your money is right now, like, do you see yourself with what we're doing together as well? Like, what do you see the future to be like as time goes on? Like, what do you predict? Well, just for your mindset on all the changes that are happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's massive. So I am so focused, and it's probably part of my personality and character type, but I'm so focused on that wealth portfolio now that I sold my car because it just used to sit in the driveway and it just wasn't adding value. It was draining the flow of money. So that has now come and gone back into savings pots, which feels abundant. So for me, it's the future of that freedom for me. So it's been financial freedom, location freedom, choice freedom has been.
What if there's someone out there right now, Adele, that's maybe watching, seeing testimonials or case studies like this, and they're thinking, should I work with Infinite Coaching and the team? Because I know you know some of my team as well. Like, what would you say to that person? And will we focus on helping you get results? Because I know you've worked with other people, and this is nothing to do with them, but I'm just saying, what do you think the difference has been, or what would you say to that person from our coaching experience?
Yeah, I've really loved our coaching experience. I think that the difference has been that where I've got to in my journey to this point was needed. So that was always part of my journey and my flow. And then when we started to work together, I was ready to be triggered. I was ready to be opened up to the areas that I was deliberately, I call it ostriching, head in the sand, bum in the air. Like, I'm not interested in seeing it. So having someone really help to see that has massively helped the trajectory of my own business and me. So I would say that, you know, if someone's unsure about it, then, you know, you can't sit in that uncertainty. Uncertainty doesn't create results, right? It's about being able to say, well, have the conversation. So I would literally just be messaging you saying, can I chat? I just want to find out more.
Okay, I appreciate that. So guys, thank you so much for jumping on here. I want to say thank you for the last 6 months. It's been freaking amazing. I'm super excited for the next 6 months as well. I just love seeing just clients where they start and they're a little bit like you were at the start, like new around money, and it was very triggering. I remember that second session that we did around money, you were like super triggered. But I'm like, seeing where you are right now, it's like you are going to be in such a incredible financial situation in the next 6 to 12 months. And I know it because you're already on the track of that. And that's what actually changes your life. Like, what is the money that you keep, not what you make? It doesn't really matter what you make. It's about what you keep. So I love working with you, and I'm super grateful for you doing this for me and helping. And guys, if you're interested in checking her out, I would definitely check her out as well. She's super hungry. She's super motivating. You know, she has a podcast as well on this, so she gives free advice out. So I'll tag you in this as well, so people can check you out as well. But thanks so much for jumping on.
Thank you. And I love being supported by you and your team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.